I got two words for you. We won. Yeah! Okay, technically four with the yeah, but still, we did it. Appmon is in the card game, April 19th, 2025. My birthday. Appmon is finally in the card game. And I could not be happier. I have been calling for this. I've been wanting this since the card game kicked off. You know, from my perspective, if they were able to make Digicross work, and they turned Masaru basically into a Digimon through his Tamer cards, there was no reason why Appmon couldn't work. And when this card happened, this option card, which yes is a reprint, but Haru is featured. And I always said that was the important part. This was the gateway card. Appmon was always coming to the card game. I've been calling the future-proofing of certain cards for years so that we didn't end up with another situation where, like with a bunch of Frontier cards and some of the Doru cards, because of the way things were localized 20-something years ago, that we didn't have to run into this card is not treated as a Greymon card. We didn't have to worry about that, because what the Digimon we know as Raidramon in the West is called Lydramon in Japanese. It kept its Japanese name when it entered into the Digimon card game in the West. They kept his name as Lydramon. And I always said, or at least hoped, that that was future-proofing, because there is an Appmon called Raidramon, and that way, when, not if, when Appmon appear, you don't run into a situation where all the Raidramon cards have to be printed as this card is not treated as Lydramon, like we do with a bunch of the Frontier Greymon cards, because their names were never Greymon in the Japanese. Or, again, you know, we have Huckmon, Huck, instead of Hackmon. So you can have the Appmon Hackmon not have to get printed with extra text that says this card is not treated as Huckmon. And I have said for years that that was future-proofing. And people said I was crazy, or I was reading too deeply into things, or I was just, you know, I was grasping at straws. Well, who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? Me. It's me. I'm laughing. Because look, behind me. See that? You see these little guys? You see these little guys? They're coming to the card game. So Appmon haters out there, and I know you exist. You've been telling me on social media that you exist, and I've seen you on Facebook today. Oh, I'm gonna quit the card game now because of this. Appmon were always Digimon. Take your L, and let's move on. Because there's enough card game for everybody. This should not be the thing that gets you to stop playing. Shipment issues, pricing, delays, bad decisions, anti-consumer decisions by the company. Those should be what get you to stop playing, not the addition of a show you don't like. Because I went through it all. I've been around this franchise long enough that I have gone through it all. Frontier. Oh, it's not really Digimon. Savers. Oh, that's not really Digimon, because in Frontier it was because they transformed into the Digimon. Because in Savers, Masaru decked them in the face. It wasn't really Digimon. Cross Wars, because it was a super robot show, it wasn't really Digimon. And they made that gimmick work in the card game as well. Appmon was always inevitable. It was never if, it was when. And when this card came out, I said, okay, it has to be Booster 20. if not 21. And I was right. Also, Digimon Liberator, the current ongoing card game story, introduced Machinamon, who looks like a Digimon on one half and an Appmon on the other. Even its tail is an Appmon link cable. I was never grasping at straws. And I'm so happy to have been vindicated. So happy. Disgustingly so. I did say when the Haru card was announced originally that I was going to be disgustingly smug about this, but I think this goes beyond that, because now it's a whole pack. I mean, if you want real Digimon news, congratulations, you're getting more adventure cards in the new starter decks 20 and 21, so congratulations, I guess. You got what you wanted. But I got what I wanted. Appmon, and I've said it since the original reviews way back when. I've said it during the rewatch we did when Meg joined the show. Appmon is my favorite show. Hell, I still have an Apply drive. You can't see it on screen, obviously, but I'm holding an Apply drive. I mean, you know? Let's load in Musimon. Why not? Woo! Woo! Alright. So we'll cut that. We'll cut him off. Well, I've got an Apply drive in hand. Right? It stays at my work desk. You know, I've told you guys for like long-time viewers of the channel will know Navimon is my favorite Appmon. He's a little gremlin and I love him. It is something about the green standard levels or child levels, isn't it? Like Wormmon, Navimon, they end up being my favorites. You know, and we even got told about new sleeves that are coming out. The new close art, I will say, is very nice. I do like the one with Agumon, Vmon, Lugumon, and Teromon. The 5th anniversary sleeves are a mess. They are an absolute mess, design-wise. Like, I get there's an extended image of this to, like, celebrate the 5th anniversary, but just trying to fit all that onto a sleeve, I think, was a bad choice. What was a fantastic choice, though, was the Appmon sleeves over here on the right-hand side, where you've got Gatchmon and my boy Navimon linking together, and then you have Dogachimon and Timemon, fusing together. Applink and App Fusion are two different mechanics. You could probably think of Applink more akin to Cross Up, whereas App Gatai would be kind of similar to Jogress. You know, for those who are like unfamiliar with how Appmon work, they evolve through fusion, right? You like DNA Digivolution, right? You like Pyildramon and Sylphimon and Shakomon, right? You like those guys, right? Same idea, except it's the whole evolution chain. So Gatchmon and Navimon become Dogachmon, that fuses with Timemon to become Globemon, who fuses with Charismon to become Gaiamon, who is effectively a mega level. They call it God, but so Gatchmon would be the rookie, Dogachmon would be the champion, Globemon would be the ultimate, and then Gaiamon would be the mega. Although, if you take that episode of Appmon where Agumon turned up into consideration, a mega level Digimon might be more on par with a ultimate Appmon, and the term is actually ultimate. Um, that's why on the podcast we use Mega for Digimon and Ultimate for Appmon, because you know that the word ultimate is just confusing in this franchise because of how localization worked out. But I never but I always, part of the reason I always thought this was possible was because the card game doesn't really focus on stages by name. They go level 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And you can do the exact same thing with the Appmon. A standard is level 3, a super is level 4, an ultimate is level 5, and then a god is level 6, right? You could totally do the same thing. And if they all like, you could ignore the app gatai or app link functionality and just have them evolve the same way Digimon do. But like, as I mentioned earlier, they made Digicross work, right? They made Masaru Tamer cards do damage because he punches Digimon as his gimmick to help Agumon evolve. Jogress is already in the card game. There's enough mechanics in the card game already to support AppLink and AppGatai and make Appmon functionally the same as Digimon for the purposes of card battling. I don't know why that was always such a hurdle for a lot of the Digimon fans to get over. I don't know why a lot of people just couldn't get over that hurdle. Was it because you didn't watch the show? Because it wasn't really Digimon? Or did you just listen to your favorite YouTuber tell you, no, this bad, and you went, okay, they say it's bad, so I won't watch it. And that's the whole point of the podcast I do now, is looking at all the different shows critically and forming an opinion on having watched the show in full. That's what having Megalong for the ride is for. To get somebody who doesn't have rose-tinted goggles looking at it as an outsider and being able to say, well, this is good, this is bad, this is okay, maybe this doesn't deserve all the hype that it gets, and maybe this should get its flowers, maybe this is underrated. So that's always been the point of the show, is to be able to watch the product in full and have a critical opinion having seen the product in full. That is the point of the main podcast line. But I've always maintained, since 2017 and since Appmon finished, it is my favorite Digimon. It is my favorite Digimon show. It is my favorite iteration of the franchise. Savers is second for me, so maybe I'm just a weird one. Probably. I mean, I'm also decked out in an Omegamon jacket, but like, that idea comes from Digimon Recollection, that comic that's, coming out every couple of months. I loved Rico's Omegamon jacket, so I had one, commissioned so that I could also, because it's such a cool idea. And yes, I even do have the crests on the back, the like Rico does. So the point of this video wasn't to gloat, right? And I hope people take the L bit with a bit of salt, with a pinch of salt and a bit of banter and a bit of lightheartedness, because at the end of the day, it is just card games. But after being told for so long that our opinion as fans didn't matter and that this was never going to happen, can you really blame us for being that extra bit excited? Can you? I don't think so. I wouldn't hold it against anybody. Digimon Frontier fans out there who ride and die by that show, I think it's garbage. But I am excited that you love it as deeply as you do, because that shows the length and breadth of the franchise, that there is something for everybody. And I'm not. My day isn't ruined because Agnemon gets a new booster pack. I knew my day would come, and it has. Actually, my birthday, April 19th. I'm gonna get a box or two of this pack, and I hope, as Modi aren't exactly the greatest distributors in the world, so hopefully with this merging of the release dates between the Japanese and Western game, that will start to change. So the hope is that I will have a box or two of this for my birthday, and we can open it up and just hunt down all the Appmon. Um, and their buddies. Buddies are what Appmon call partners. Um, and I want those sleeves. It's a cool idea with the sleeves showing how all the different Appmon link together to, create Gaiamon. And yeah, no, like I won. If nothing else, I won. I'm happy for all of the Appmon fans out there, but I got tired. Like I deleted my Twitter. The podcast Twitter still exists. Hasn't been used in like over a year at this stage, I feel. But my personal Twitter has been deleted for various Muskrat related reasons. But one thing that I did get sick of was arguing that Appmon weren't Digimon with people. And so forgive me if I'm feeling a little bit smug and vindicated, yeah? But there's been enough proof out there that this was coming. You know. Um and I've always championed it, and I know plenty of fans out there have championed it. And today is a good day for us, and I cannot wait to see how Appmon function in the game. Like, I honestly thought they would just be, as I mentioned earlier, I thought like maybe they won't go with the App Link and App Gatai routes, and Gatchmon will just become Dogachmon, just become Globemon, just become Gaiamon, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they have a trait that labels them as Appmon, and then certain like option cards or other effects would just say this card, when using a card with the Appmon trait, apply X effect. I would have been happy with that. I would have just been happy with that. But no, I'm excited it's happening at all, and I can't wait to see how the different mechanics of the show are implemented. If you haven't watched Appmon yet, it's on Crunchyroll. I'm sure it's available on your favorite pirate ship. I'm sure it's readily available to pick up and watch, get familiar with it, fall in love with the characters like we did. Eri is the best female in any Digimon anime. Um, I think I think a lot of people will relate to Eri on a very personable level. With the amount of streamers and content creators out there, XTRA may or may not be for you. Ray is your edgelord Yamato kind of character. Haru is he's the main character, but he feels like he's under the shadow of his best friend. He doesn't see himself as the protagonist of his own story, and he's trying to break out of his shell. And there's themes of like humans' reliance on technology to do things, and ideas of exploring transhumanism, and it does a lot. It does a lot. Whether it does it well or not, is up to the viewer. But definitely watch the show and form your own opinion rather than piggybacking off somebody else's. That's all I can ask. I think Appmon is very underrated because it's Digimon universe, but that should tell you. Like, look at Haru's card here, the words behind him, Digimon universe. There was a phrase at the end of Digimon Liberator, the initial trailer, where it was like, Even if the form is something to the effect of that, even if the form is different, it is still the same. And I think that's a very strong message to take into Appmon, because it is Digimon. It's in the title. The main character wears goggles. He has a Digivice. He has a little dinosaur partner that just happens to be able to search the internet. Mobile phones are becoming mini PCs in our pocket. They do everything for us. Calendars, cameras, maps, storage, everything. Anything, we barely use the phones to make phone calls anymore. Messaging, social media, it's all in our hands. So Appmon being the next step of Digimon, it makes perfect sense, and I don't think people should be afraid of that necessarily. Even though the form is different, it is still very much the same. I think anything you love about Digimon can be found in that show, and I encourage people to watch it. If they don't like it after having watched it, fine, at least you watched it and formed an opinion on the show as a whole. But don't deny yourself just don't deny yourself the experience. Maybe you're afraid you will like it. You know? I don't know. I'm not here to psychoanalyze. I am just here to congratulate Appmon. I'm here to congratulate Appmon fans. And I'm here to say, we won! I don't know what's next. Next order cards? Get those tamers in. Cyber Sleuth is going to have its 10th anniversary in a couple of months. Like literally February. Maybe we get a new Cyber Sleuth set. Like a little EX9 or something. I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. Like outside of like the Appmon manga. Like the card game has really shown that nothing is off limits. Nothing is untouchable. There is no yellow police line that says do not cross, or Digi police line, I suppose. Thank you, Digimon Seekers. Nothing's off limits, nor should it be. If it exists within the multiverse of this franchise, have fun. That should be the takeaway from this. Not people getting upset or throwing their cards in the bin or saying they're not playing the game anymore. It's only card games. But it's card games you people told us were never going to happen, so we're allowed to have this moment. We're allowed to have this moment. But tomorrow, it's a new day. Yes, it is. And we all just kind of get on with our lives, so enjoy this world convergence. I certainly will. And I think I need to get Navimon back on the set somehow, so I'll need to work on that. Alright, look, guys, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. We love and appreciate you. Myself and Meg may be back with the next couple of episodes of Digimon Adventure 2020 this coming Sunday. Really depends on how convention plans work out, but I hope we'll see you there and we can talk about this even further. But until then, thank you for watching this mini extra of the Code Crown podcast. And we'll see you soon. Ta-ra for now. Bye. Did it. We did it. I just want to dive into the future. Na 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 na.